guys, it's Lauren here, popping in to share a layout with you for the final issue of Jot magazine. I created this layout being mindful of that. I think I feel so blessed to have been a part of Jot magazine from its first issue right through to its last. It's been such a wonderful journey, and each of the layouts I created for the final issue, I was done being really mindful of that and wanting them to be stunning layouts. So this one here is a layout I created featuring my little dolly. I love this photo of her. It is just a natural shot. She looks like she's sun-kissed, she's happy, and I thought I just want to use up some bits and bobs and some paper from different collections. This is a Heidi Swap one. The base page is a Cocoa Vanilla one, and sitting on top of that is a piece of marshmallow cardstock by Basil. And I really just wanted to incorporate some really beautiful, super girly pieces to bring together a lovely layout. And as I was doing it, just reflecting on my time with Jot magazine and all the other fellow Jot girls that have journeyed with me over that time, and of course the beautiful and very talented Kim Archer, who is the creator of Jot magazine and is now on to wonderful things with doTERRA. So if you're interested in doTERRA and being part of a fabulous team, definitely send Kim a private message. I'm sure she'll be able to direct you where you need to be. So here I am. As you can see, those what I'm backing my cardstock in, my photo in, is just some offcuts I've had out of a few of the Cocoa Vanilla collections. I can't recall which one's which, but if you're having a flick through their website, I really love the cut apart sheet, which allows you to have a little snippet almost of each of the papers in the collection, and sometimes there's even some unique pieces there that you can't get in a 12 by 12 piece. So those little cut aparts I love. This is from the More Than Words collection, so this matched perfectly, I thought, with that beautiful flower clusters from the Heidi Swap paper there that I had. So I just wanted to layer this photo up, put a border around it with beautiful flowers and clusters, and really draw you to looking at that photo of my little girl who was just having fun outside and had turned, and I captured a lovely candid moment of her and her gorgeous smiley face. So how do you guys go with incorporating and mixing different collections? Do you have boxes and boxes of offcuts and goodie, like bits and pieces that you're not sure what to do with? One trick that I like to do when I'm feeling a bit overwhelmed is to sort those offcuts from all the different collections into some kind of colour order. So your peaches and your pinks and maybe even your yellows go together. Your blues, your greens go together. Your creams, your whites, your florals go together. Things like that so that when you are picking a photo to scrapbook and you want to, you know the colour tones that you want and you know the feeling that you want, you can just go to all your offcuts, and if they're in kind of like a colour order, or even in flowers or stars, or some kind of order, it just makes it easier to grab those bits and bobs out, put them out, and you know that they'll coordinate a little bit together. So I encourage you, when your mojo's having a holiday and you're feeling like you can't create, go and grab all your offcuts, sit down, play with them, even the ones that are really odd shaped, trim them up into rectangles and neaten them up a little bit, and sit there and put them into some kind of a system, and I promise you that you'll draw on it. You'll go to it and when you've got that layout and you've got that photo in mind with the colour tones you want, you'll go to all those offcuts and use them to back and layer your photos. So as you can see here, I've just fussy cut another piece from that beautiful Heidi Swap cardstock there, because I wanted to sort of balance it out again. I knew I had that large cluster on one side and it was sort of getting a bit like heavy on one side, and I didn't have enough of a cluster to build it on the other side to sort of even it out a bit. So I just grabbed a small, fussy cut a smaller cluster there, and that helped with the Cocoa Vanilla, sorry, tongue-tied there, Cocoa Vanilla More Than Words ephemera pieces there to sort of balance that out. By layering all those photos, I've really drawn the attention, I'm having a bad day. By layering all those different offcuts together, I've really drawn the attention to the photo there. At this point, I'm thinking my background needs something, and I had some Distress Stain by Tim Holtz there, which I find is really good for, just creating those watery coloured backgrounds. It's good for blending. It's good just to do what I'm doing now, using a stencil, dabbing it on. As you can see there, it doesn't leave a sharp impression with the stencil. This is not the product if you want a sharp impression with that stenciling to do that. If you want that really sharp impression, I suggest you using an ink and a blending tool and just do circular motions on the stencil, which would look lovely. But I just love at the moment this sort of watercolor dreamy look that we're getting with the Distress Stains, the watercolors, the inks and the spritzers and all those things that you get out there. So as you can see, you kind of can see it. The stenciling comes to life when you dry that Distress Stain and you get that little edging there. But as you can see, I've still kept it. It's made it look all dreamy and lovely. And I suggest you give it a try. Just pick up some Distress Stain and give it a go and have a bit of fun with it. They're really awesome as well if you want a couple of good splatters on your page. If you want to bang it down on your page, it sends a good splatter and a big dollop on your page. So they're lots of fun. So if you're into a bit of art journaling, or just like to go a little bit crazy on your layouts or in your project life, then I suggest pick up a bottle of this and have fun, because that's what it is, and that's what scrapbooking's all about, isn't it? So there you go. I'm a little bit happier now with my layout. I'm now going to rebuild the cluster that I'd put together, and as always, it turns out slightly different, but it doesn't really matter. It all works because you've coordinated the colours and the embellishments and the cardstock that you back the photo with. It will all work, and just keeping that general theme of the way you laid it down the first time, it always comes together. So don't be too worried if you have got to a point where you think, oh no, I really wanted to do I really feel my background needs something and I have to slide off all my cluster there that I was working on. Don't be worried, because it will all work. And then you'll have I guess by doing it the way I've done it, the actual stenciling and the Distress Stain has actually given me a bit of a guide of where I want, where my cluster needs to sit anyway. So give it a go, have a try, but scrapbooking cannot be stressful. This is not what it's about. It's about fun, documenting memories, having some time out, letting your brain switch off from the busyness of life, and just enjoying sticking pretty stuff together. Making pretty stuff is, as Heidi would say. So here I am, just applying adhesive, getting my cluster set, and I'm also at this time thinking about what am I going to journal on here? What am I going to say about this photo that brings it to life a little more? And sometimes when you're journaling, you have a lot to say. The photo is about a moment, it's about an event, it's about a special time, and you've got a lot to say. Other times you capture a candid photo like I've got here, and you don't need to say much. You can document how you feel about the person, or you can document about the time of the year or things like that. So don't be too hard on yourself when it comes to journaling. There's no rules to journaling. It's just about sharing a story, sharing how you're feeling, or just sharing who, what, where, and when. I think if you love to document life and you place a lot of importance on what do I say? If you place a lot of importance on recording your family's history and feel that that is a priority for you to be a contributor for that for your family, well, that's when I would sort of think really push your journaling a little bit more. Document what they were saying, document the conversations you were having, and just try to push your journaling a little bit to the next level, and that will mean that you're carrying the history, you're holding the history for future generations. I love that idea as well. Journaling in your own handwriting is also because not only are you carrying your words through history, you're carrying a little bit of who you are. When your great-grandchildren look back in and they see some of this, they look back and they can see their great-great-grandmother's or grandfather's handwriting, and that's precious. I know I look at my mother's handwriting and my grandmother's handwriting, and I wonder about her, and I reflect on the life that she had and the times that she experienced, and all it takes is a peek at her handwriting on a recipe or a letter to my mum, and I'm transported there. So even your handwriting can, transform and carry with it for future generations that important part of their future history. So I just wanted to finish off here these gorgeous little enamel hearts and dots from the More Than Words collection, Cocoa Vanilla Studio. They are delicate and lovely. Here's a little tip that I've got a very cheap, very, very cheap, I think I pinched it off one of my children, white out. So it's like liquid paper in a roller. And when I want to do some creative journaling, I just white it out with whiteout, and there you have a unique kind of blended space to do your journaling on, keeping it all in your cluster. So I think that there is cheap liquid paper, as you'll see here. My pen really struggles on it, and I haven't had this issue before with the liquid paper thing. Usually I roll it out, let it dry for a moment like I've just done there, and I'll be able to write all over it. But my pen seems to struggle with this, so maybe just have a tester with, if you want to try this technique with some different brands of liquid paper. You could even try the wet liquid paper. It's got like a little paintbrush there to give a different effect. But I suggest you use it, give it a try. I've been using it for a long time and love it, but my pen was struggling with this one, so I'm not sure. I went and snuck it out of my children's stash, so there you go. You can see it breaking up there with my finger. But I persevere and try a different pen with a thicker point, and it seems to come together in the end. As you've probably noticed, if you're regular to my channel, I always underline my script just to give it a bit more of a like a focus, and yeah, that seems how it all comes in. Finishing off with some splatters, and yeah, I hope you like this layout. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I know I go off a bit tangent with my chatting, but if you like to come and listen to me and have a chat with me, then please like this video, share it with your friends. It really helps my channel grow, which I have a bit of a goal of 1,000 subscribers by Christmas. And subscribe. All right, take care, guys. Happy scrapping. Bye.